Other than Aaron Rodgers, Pete, he might be part of this conversation, but other than Aaron Rodgers, something that's in the news every day for the last 3 days has been the New Orleans Saints. So why don't you tell us what the heck is going on there?
Well, it's interesting, the timing of this whole thing, but Derek Carr has been around for a long time, been in the NFL, great quarterback. His brother was a great quarterback. I think they're both out of like Fresno State or something like that. In any case, great quarterbacks, right? Mm-hmm. Derek Carr has had a great career. All of a sudden, he literally just a day or two ago stepped up and said, you know what? I got to retire. And who can blame him when you realized how bad his shoulder really is, John? But I would have thought going into the draft, you might have been knocking on the door of Derek Carr saying, hey, how's it going and how you feeling? I don't know what happened there. I really don't. But that being said, I think the New Orleans Saints are another interesting team if maybe Rodgers is thinking about it, right? I mean, these guys, they know each other pretty well. I'm sure these quarterbacks all talk to one another. So I think there's a number of different quarterbacks who could go down there because right now, John, they don't have anybody on their roster either. Underneath Derek Carr, nothing. Other than, they had a good draft pick this year out of Louisville, but we don't know what he's going to look like. And most rookie quarterbacks pretty much struggle. So I don't know that they want to go that route either. So I'm looking at it this way. I think it could be Aaron Rodgers, maybe. And I think dollar-wise, it would probably work out. I got another one for you. And I know it's a little strange, but how about Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins basically lost his job last year in Atlanta. They gave him all the money in the world. He got benched at the end. Penix came in, filled in, and did a really nice job. And a lot of people have been kicking around, well, maybe Kirk Cousins goes to Pittsburgh. Maybe he does. If he goes to Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers has one last chance, and that would be down there in New Orleans. But maybe one of those two guys, John, because it makes some sense. Here's the quarterbacks on the Cleveland roster right now. Joe Flacco, Gabriel, Pickett, Sanders, and Watson. Joe Flacco might be decent enough. He's certainly been around for a long time, John, and he's actually stepped up and done a good job at times. Maybe Flacco would be a guy who could step in down there too. So I'm giving you three because there's no way looking at Cleveland, they're going to hold on to five quarterbacks. They just won't. They'll have three when it's all said and done, but they're not going to have five. So they could very easily make it something in an easy way for Joe Flacco maybe to slide down there too.
Well, the Saints, Pete, just moments ago announced what was rumored to be they signed this guy, Hunter Dekkers, an undrafted free agent out of Iowa State. Iowa State? Who's ever come out of Iowa State? Oh, turns out Mr. Irrelevant came out of Iowa State.
Yeah.
And Mr. Irrelevant is going to be looking more like Mr. Elephant with his huge pile of money that they're going to give him because when he gets paid by San Francisco, that's the quarterback we're talking about, folks. When he gets paid by San Francisco, it's going to be 40 to 50 million a year is what he's going to sign for. So maybe there's something in the water in Iowa State, Pete. I don't know, but the Saints felt good enough about him to say, you know what? Let's grab another quarterback. Now we got four. But to your point, Pete, they still might sign Flacco. They still might trade for him, or they might trade for Cousins, or they might sign Rodgers. Who knows?
Yeah, they need somebody with some experience, in my opinion. At least one. At least, somebody. I mean, Spencer Rattler's been there very short term. You look at who they've got. They really don't have anybody with real experience in the NFL, and I think that's lacking. Brock Purdy, I'll tell you what, he's proven to be one of the better quarterbacks in the entire NFL. We got to love that guy, and not selfish. John, he's even said he might not take 40. He might go lower than that just to be able to keep all the roster and all the money flowing at San Francisco. So we'll see how that all plays out. But you know what? The guy had a roommate his first 2 years in San Francisco. So to save on money, that's who the guy is. So you got to love him. John, I just got a quickie for the NBA. So the Celtics.
Okay.
Now the Celtics.
By the way, you have a video for this, right?
Oh, that's right. We got that video. Let's go to the video. This is good.
This is good.
Was the NBA draft lottery just rigged? The Mavericks ended up winning the draft lottery, and they only had a 1.8% chance to win going in. This is one of the biggest draft upsets in history, and it really has to get you thinking. Did Adam Silver promise Nico Harrison Cooper flag for Luka Doncic? With LeBron James being close to on his way out, the Lakers needed a new savior. And now the worst trade in NBA history turns into this ridiculous trio. Maybe Nico Harrison knew all along. Clearly, Adam Silver promised Nico Harrison the #1 pick in the draft if he traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers.
It's unreal. Absolutely, it's pretty unreal. And I was going to go through just the fact that the Celtics now find themselves down, 3-1 right now with the Knicks, John. So, and that was another great game last night. You know who else found themselves down 3-1? Well, Golden State. And it doesn't look much better or very promising for them. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't just, I love, Ant. Ant's one of the best basketball players, I think, on the planet. He really is. But Julius Randle was part of the trade with our guy, Big Cat, who went out there, and he's doing well with the Knicks, and that's the team in front of Boston. Well, I'll tell you what, Julius Randle was the pick the player that we were able to get here in Minnesota, and that guy is playing lights out in the playoffs. Absolutely had a great year again, and lights out. So pretty phenomenal. John, this whole thing with Dallas just makes me wonder more and more about what's going on with Adam Silver, the fact that he's overlooked all of the other things that we've talked about, particularly load management, some of those kinds of things. I don't know how the NBA is going to keep on doing this, and I don't know if ESPN is going to want to try to cancel that whole thing for them to be able to cover the NBA, because they certainly are losing money. There's no doubt about that. They much overpaid for what they did. But a 1.8% shot on the first pick in the draft, and it goes to Dallas, seems a little bit odd, but it sure would be probably a great landing place for Cooper Flag. But yeah, I think this is all a big setup, and I think that was what was implied on that last video that we watched as well.
Yeah, well, it's always interesting when they get so far against the odds, Pete. Like he said, less than a 2% chance out of all the teams for them to come up with the ball, if you will, when they do that selection. That, oh yeah, well, Dallas got it. How exactly did that happen, Adam Silver? Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about it for weeks to come, Pete. But in the meantime, folks, Pete and I will be on the New York Stock Exchange floor tomorrow with our friend Nicole Pelladidis. And she is, of course, with Schwab. We're looking forward to being on the floor with her tomorrow. That'll be on at, I think, noon Eastern time tomorrow, Pete. I don't know if they're live or if they record them, but we will be there. And obviously, it'll stress us a little bit with the Rebels Edge, but there'll still be a Rebels Edge tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We hope you tune into both.